ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಯರೇ, ಇವತ್ತು ಅಕ್ಕ IAS ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಂಭ್ರಮದ ಸಂದರ್ಭ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಯಾಗಿ ಚೀಫ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿಯಾಗಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ನಿವೃತ್ತ IAS ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಕೆ ರತ್ನಪ್ರಭಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದಂಥ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು 1981ರ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ನ IAS ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ. ಅವರು ಮೂಲತಃ ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಕಾಶಂ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯವರು. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಈಗ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯವರು. 15 ವರ್ಷ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಡೆಪ್ಯುಟೇಷನ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಬೀದರಿಂದ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಕರಿಯರ್ ಶುರುವಾಗಿದೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ. ಭಾಳ ಉನ್ನತವಾದ ಹುದ್ದೆಯನ್ನು ಅಲಂಕರಿಸಿದಂಥವರು ಮತ್ತು ತುಂಬ ಹೃದಯವಂತಿಕೆ ಉಳ್ಳಂಥವರು. ಬಡವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಜನಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಪಾರವಾದ ಕಳಕಳಿಯಿಂದ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಿ ದಕ್ಷ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ UPSC ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾರು ಇಂಟ್ರ್ಯೂಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪರ್ಸ್ನಾಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂಥ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು 2 ದಿನಗಳಿಂದ ಮಾಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂವನ್ನು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ವಿ, ಅಣಕು ಸಂದರ್ಶನಗಳನ್ನು. ನಿನ್ನೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಇವತ್ತು ಕೂಡ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ 2 ಗಂಟೆವರೆಗೆ, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 10:30ಯಿಂದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ 1 to 1 ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ, ಮುಕ್ಕಾಲು ಗಂಟೆ ಸಮಯವನ್ನು ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ತೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಭಾಳ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಮುನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ಸಂಭಾಷಣೆ ನಡೆಸಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಸಂವಾದ ನಡೆಸಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಅವರು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪುಟ್ಟ ಸನ್ಮಾನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಸಂವಾದ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. ಭಾಳ ರಿಚ್ ಆದಂಥ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು, ಭಾಳ ದಕ್ಷ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು. ಅವ್ರು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ.
Good afternoon, my dear students. Hello. Good afternoon, my dear students. Today it's my pleasure to address the IAS aspirants. I would like to ask one question before I start. Why did so many of you join this academy to write the UPSC exam? Can 2-3 people tell me what inspired you to write the UPSC? We can start with the girls. First row. Or any boy also. Yeah.
ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿನ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಕೂಡ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಜಾಬ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಜಾಬ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಬ್.
ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತ ಆಸೆ ಇತ್ತು. ನಾವು ರೈತ ಕುಟುಂಬದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ಸಮಾಜದ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬದುಕಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಆಸೆ. ಅದು ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನನಗೆ IAS ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ IPS ಅಂತ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಾನು ಡಿಗ್ರಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ. ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ದಾರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಸರ್. ನಮ್ಮಂಥ ರೂರಲ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಇದೇ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ನಾನು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. UPSC ಯಾಕೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, UPSC ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಮೈ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್ ಡ್ರೀಮ್. ನಾನು 7th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡಿಂದನೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ. ಇದು ಸಡನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಥಾಟ್ಸು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಜಾಬ್ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಬಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಮೊದಲಿಂದನೂ ಪ್ರೇರೇಪಣೆ ಇತ್ತು. ನನಗನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ದಿಢೀರಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಕನಸು. ನಮ್ಮ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ರೂರಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಬ್ಲೇಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಲ 5 ಇಯರ್ಸ್ಗೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ನನಗನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಕೊರತೆ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮಂಥ ರೂರಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರೋರು ಹಾನೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ರೂರಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೊರತೆ ಇರೋದನ್ನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ಮಂಥವ್ರು ಈ ದಕ್ಷತೆಯಿಂದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರೆ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಕಾಣ್ಬೋದು ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಕೂಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇನೆ.
ಗುಡ್ ಗುಡ್ ಗುಡ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎನಿಬಡಿ? ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ.
Ma'am, to serve the country through the government which implemented many schemes, so involved in the government and which molds my character by taking lot of pressures in this preparation. So these are the kinds which helps me to enter in this preparation.
Good. Next, anybody? ಏನಾದರೂ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇರಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಸಿಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ರಿ ಮತ್ತೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಏನು? ಹಾಂ,
ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಕಚೇರಿಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋದಾಗ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸತಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸತಿ ಅದನ್ನು ತಡೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಿಡಿಯೋದು ಅಥವಾ ನಾಳೆ ಬಾರಪ್ಪ ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೇಳೋದು, ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇರೋದು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಇಲಾಖೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ನೋಡಿರೋಂಥ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕ ವಿಷಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾನೇನಾದರೂ UPSC ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ನ ನಾನು ಕ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದು ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ನಿಭಾಯಿಸಬೇಕಂತ ನಾನು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಬಟ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ನೀವು ಅದೇ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್, ನಾನು ಬೆಳೆದು ಬಂದಿರೋ
ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಅದೇ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರೋದು ಏನಂದರೆ, ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಸೀಟ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದೇ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹೌದಾ ಅಲ್ಲ?
ನನಗೆ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆಗೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನನ್ನ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ, ಬೆಳೆದು ಬಂದಂಥ ದಾರಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದು ನನ್ನ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಹೋಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಭಾವಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಸರ್ವೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ ನಂತರ ಸಹ ಇದೇ ಭಾವನೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ I just wanted to know the mindset of the youngsters, because once when we interacted with students like you who are preparing for the civil services, some people said I was attracted by the bungalow of the deputy commissioner or the police commissioner or municipal commissioner. Some people said I was attracted by the red light. Nowadays there's no light. Supreme Court has asked officers to remove the light. Some people said we were attracted by the power, which was maybe true. And somebody who came from Bombay, because Bombay housing is a big problem, they said we are very happy that we'll get a house at government cost. So at least here we have students who have come with one zeal and interest to work for the society. You have seen the problems and you want to, set right the problems. So I think the best part of UPSC is that ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ ಜನರ ಜೊತೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಜನರ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಜನರ ಸೇವೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವೇರಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. For example, now with the WhatsApp, even after I retired, I get phone calls. ನಮ್ಮ ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೀಗಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಂದು ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೀಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು, ನನ್ನ ನಂಬರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ ತುಂಬ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಗ್ರಿವೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಫೋನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್. ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಗಾಟ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಫೋನ್ ಕಾಲ್ಸ್. ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬೇಕು, ವೆಂಟಿಲೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು, ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಆಲ್ tackled only by somebody like you who are in a public service. So the best part of the IAS, Indian Administrative Service, or the UPSC exam in our country is that any graduate can write. I think that is the only exam where there is 55% and above can apply, first class can apply, nothing. You can be a graduate, you may be attempted 10 times, failures are allowed to apply once you pass, okay, and the fees is very limited. Movies ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ IAS ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ತಂದೆ ಹೊಲ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೂವೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಿಜವಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿದರೆ it's an examination which is so free and one of the most, I think, fair examination so far. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರಾ ಒಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿನಿಂದ ಹುಡುಗ IAS ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ some auto rickshaw driver's daughter cracked the exam, or some laborer's son cracked the exam. That is what you see. So that inspires everybody that this is one exam I can also reach, I can also clear. So this is a very important part of the UPSC. Second thing is, ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಸೊಸೈಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಯು ಸಿ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಯು ಫೀಲ್ ನಾನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ ನಾನು ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಇತ್ತು, ಇವ್ರು ಯಾಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಲೆಥಾರ್ಜಿಕ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ವೈ ದೀಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಇನ್ಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವ್, ವೈ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ವೆರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ help people, bring a smile on somebody's face. Very small things, small actions, which once I tweeted saying that a small action of a deputy commissioner has changed the life of somebody, which the Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, saw my tweet, and he spoke in the collectors conference, DC's conference of aspirational districts, and he said that because I was Raichur DC, I spoke about that. I was Raichur DC in 1990, and apparently one boy, he was loitering on the road, and I was going in my car. In those days there were no mobile phones. Nowadays everybody is watching mobile. Nobody is watching what is happening next to them. So you have to be very, very conscious not to be looking into your mobile all the time if you are a civil servant. So apparently he was there, I saw him, and I stopped the car. I called that boy, called the school teacher, there was some school running there, and told that teacher, ee hudugange admit ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ why is he roaming around here? And after 27 years, when I was chief secretary, this boy, now a police constable called Narsappa, came and saluted me, saying, if you had not put me into the school on that day, and the teacher, because DC put him into the school, teacher ensured he comes every day, because I got transferred and went away. But the teachers who came felt this boy was put by the DC, and he passed his 10th. He was not interested in studies. Anyway, he was roaming around at that time also. Because of his 10th class, he became a constable. He came and saluted me. And that, when I was chief secretary, there was so much of people who has come to meet me that even Chief Minister Siddaramaiah was worried, ಯಾರು ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನರು ಯಾಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸರ್ CS ಗೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು, ಏನು ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನರು CS ಗೆ ಗ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರಾ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಸಹ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬೀದರ್, ಗುಲ್ಬರ್ಗ, ರಾಯಚೂರು, ದೂರದಿಂದ. I worked 30 years back, 35 years back. But I was so connected to the people that they felt our DC has become now chief secretary. So they all came, and the whole corridor was flooded, entire Vidhan Saudha, that was like a festival. And it was like that for 1 month. I could hardly work. I was only getting bouquets and these kind of sanmanas were happening. And in that crowd, this boy came. And he was whispering into my ear, Nanu Narsappa, Nanu Narsappa. I couldn't understand why is he saying. So I told him, and he was so anxious. So I could make out there was some anxiety on his face. I took down his mobile number. I was actually standing because so many people were there. So I said, give me a mobile number. I'll talk to you later. Then I told my PA, call this number and find out why there was so much anxiety on this boy's face. And then he came, and this is the story he told me. And in the night at 11 o'clock, I tweeted this, saying that a small action of mine several years back had a lasting impact on somebody's life. And this the Prime Minister quoted when he was talking to the Deputy Commissioners of aspirational districts. Have you heard of aspirational districts? Has anybody told you about this? It will be a question in the preliminary. So you please all Google. Aspirational districts are the most backward districts in each state. 2 districts are selected by the Niti Aayog. There's some 115, 120 districts who have very poor indexes, social, economic, health, all the indexes. And they have pumped in money to increase the well-being of the district. And in Karnataka, it is Raichur and Yadgir, which are aspirational districts. So all of you should read aspirational districts because a very important part in the preliminary as well as in the mains. That will be a question. So when he was talking to deputy commissioners of aspirational districts, he said, you people, young girls and boys, you don't want to go to backward districts. You want to work very close to cities. You want to be around Bangalore, you want to be around Mysore, or you want to be around Delhi, but you don't want to go to backward districts. But if you work in a backward district, this is the kind of work you can do and this is the pleasure you can get. That you get the blessings of the people of backward areas. I was AC Bidar in 1983-85. So nearly, is it 40, nearly 35, 36 years. But still the Bidar people, they remember me. If any of you get posted or any one of you are from Bidar, Gulbarga, I'll remember. If you ask your parents, you may not be born at that time. Same thing with Raichur or same thing with Gulbarga. They remember. Why they remember is because I used to meet them. I used to hear their grievances. I used to solve their problems. So meeting people and solving their grievances is a part of the IAS. That's a very important part of the service. Now there are many officers who develop apps. People can give their grievances on apps. They reply on the app. They get a Prime Minister's Award, Excellence Award for Administration. But what does the app do? It doesn't connect you to that person. Somebody is applying on the app, you are responding on the app, you don't know who that person is, that person doesn't know you. Your app is appreciated, you get an award. But when you do a direct contact, you don't get an award because that doesn't get recognized by the powers that be, but the people recognize you and they give you the award in the form of love and affection. What more do you want for them, more than that? Getting an award is just something which you can, decorate your hall, but getting the affection, the love, and the blessings of the people whom you have helped, I think that makes a lot of difference. And that's the beauty of the IAS, where you can go out of the way and help people. And there are a number of ways you can help the people, especially now with the social media there, with the WhatsApp there, with the emails around. There's plenty of opportunities to help. I have helped people on Twitter. I don't know who that person is. That person does. Of course, he knows me, but he doesn't know. On Twitter, if people have tweeted saying that I have this problem, and I've gone out of my way to help them. And sometimes if I can't help them, they scold me also. They abuse me. Actually, I have nothing to do with that subject. But if I try to help them and the problem doesn't get solved out of the anxiety, they abuse us. You haven't done anything for us. What are you doing sitting there? Blah, blah, they're right. But then, yes, that is their pain because the problem hasn't got solved. Because you're from Karnataka, the one important issue is the Karnataka State Open University issue, KSOU. I don't know, it's in Mysore. They started so many courses, unrecognized courses, and more than 90,000 Kannadiga boys and girls applied for that course. And they also started engineering colleges online. And the UGC didn't recognize it, naturally. And then when I was ACS, they started tweeting that we have done the course, we have not got our degree certificates, what should we do? Because they need to move ahead in life. It was not my subject. Neither was I education secretary or anything. I picked up that tweet and I called the people of the education department to find out what is the problem. There's a huge problem involved. Unrecognized courses were introduced. Then I talked to the education minister, formed a committee. I was the head of the committee. I submitted a report to the cabinet, then it went to governor. And at least people who have done graduation can do distance education. That was my stand. Of course, you can't do engineering and radiology and all that stuff online. So it took 4 or 5 years, and some 90,000 people we recommended should be given the certificates. Many lives were, they got some solace. Some of them were already working in government jobs. Some of them applied for UPSC, KAS and things like that. But people who did technical courses, they have no solution. I told them, you move on in life. Don't waste your time. That's what I tweeted. Then they started abusing me. Why should we move on in life? We want our certificate, this, that. So I just let it go. And now it's almost 10, 15 years. People are still tweeting. Then after I left, government took an opposite decision. Again, let us take UGC approval. So what I want to say is, because of Twitter, I could reach out to these students who were voiceless and who had nobody to support them. So these kind of several instances are there where as an IAS officer you can, do a lot of good work and help people who are in need and suffering. So that is generally, and then coming to the exam, I think all of you are preparing for the prelims. And I would only say that these days prelims has become very, very tough. It's so tough that it's more tougher than the main exam itself. So I can only guide you all saying, do a lot of general reading, improve your knowledge, read all those CBSE books as everybody is guiding. I think you have to read CBSE books, you have to read the newspapers, you have to be aware of what is actually happening. And then, of course, your main exam and the interview. So I was interacting with some of the students who came for the interview. And it's very interesting because there's so much of knowledge around that many of them are passed, but they don't know basic things. They've luckily passed the main exam. I'll tell you one interesting incident just to, not to demotivate you. That is, it's so easy to clear the prelims and the main. Day before yesterday, I was in RC Retd study circle. We were doing a mock interview. So there was this boy who passed out from IIT, 2019 batch, so very young. And I said, you are an IITian, what motivated you to join the civil services? That's a common question anybody will ask an engineer because UPSC is flooded with engineers. So why don't you want to do engineering? Why don't you want to continue? And why did you come here? He said there was our senior who passed out, okay, and he got into the service. He was called by my college. He was honored because he was 4th or 5th rank, and his speech inspired me. So I asked him, what part of the speech inspired you? He said, I forgot. Very sweetly he said, I forgot. Then I said, can you ask you some questions on your biodata? He said, I also forgot. Finished my engineering, and after that I started preparing for IAS. So I forgot my subjects also. And he had no hobbies or anything like that. So I said, then what question should I ask you? Because you're saying you forgot. So tomorrow if you become a district collector and CM is coming to the district, if you forget that CM is coming, what will you do? Then he said, no. Then of course I guided him. I said, you should not say you forgot. You should at least say something which he said inspired you. He said something, either you can create it, but don't say. So such kind of people are also clearing the exam. because, so it's all luck. So you study hard, and some people who have studied very hard and, they thought they've done very well, they haven't cleared. So maybe he wrote his, the main paper very well. So many of you, you come from various backgrounds, so you need to be guided how to talk and what to do. The most important baseline is that should have a service motto. Whatever question is asked, the baseline should be service, serving the people, doing good for the people, having a positive mindset, and doing ultimate good of the society. That should be your basic motto when you are studying for the civil service. Like this boy said, no, I wanted a government job. Many of them say, naturally it's true, everybody wants a government job, but if you want a government job, you can go anywhere. Why are you getting into the civil services is that you should be the messenger of God to reaching out to people. You're the messenger of God, because they say God cannot be everywhere. That's why he created mother. Similarly, God can't be everywhere. That's why he created the IAS and the IPS. Because you are the messengers of God who can reach out to the people who do not have the strength or do not have the capacity to reach out to the administration. You are the ones. So, reaching out to people is so very important, especially during COVID. I used to get phone calls at 11:30, 12:30 in the night saying my father is stuck with COVID or my mother is stuck with COVID. There are no hospitals. No hospital is taking them. I can take a stand that I have retired from service. I cannot reach out to anybody. That can be one stand. Second stand could be, I don't pick up unknown numbers. Why should I pick up unknown numbers? But normally I pick up unknown numbers because I know somebody unknown is calling me. Known numbers I know, this friend is calling or this relative is calling. I can always call later. But when an unknown number calls you, it means somebody is reaching out to you, isn't it? And at that middle of the night, I used to talk to like-minded people to see whether a hospital could be arranged or an ambulance could be arranged. And especially that black fungus. It was so bad that vaccine was not available. And government used to release one injection at a time. And women used to call up saying, save my husband. And I used to talk to the department and one injection would be given. Again, next day she'll call up for that. It was given alternate days. It was such a pathetic situation. So the least you can do is help them to save the life of their son or daughter, husband or wife. So it is an attitude. It's a matter of attitude, and you have to develop that positive attitude. You have to go one step, little more. Suppose you are watching a movie. Somebody calls you. You want to enjoy the movie, no? Because it's at a climax stage, and you are enjoying the movie. And if somebody generally calls, you can say, I'll talk to you later. But somebody calls you in a very desperate situation, maybe solving that problem is more important than watching the movie, which you can always see the climax again. So these are the things, which being very sensitive, empathizing with the people, and being that helping hand is the role of the IAS, which many people miss. Many people think, and it is true also now, because people study 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times. Some guy was going for the interview at the 10th attempt. So they are so frustrated, so fed up with life, that when they go and sit in the district, they think, let me enjoy. I struggled for 10 years. Now where am I going to reach out to Sam Yallanna Mallan and solve his problem? Let me sit aram in the bungalow and enjoy the music, get my salary and move out of the district when I've passed out. That is true, because you've gone through such a struggle. It's not like in our times that you write once or twice and you get it. Nowadays you're not getting it. You need to struggle. So I empathize with you people also, because you're going through such a bad phase of studying that when you get a good job you want to relax. But I think after relaxing for some time, you should again think, why am I here? And it is only the short span of 10 years where you are doing a district life that you can really reach out to the people and you have the direct contact. So before I close, I would like to tell so many story incidents I remember, but I remember one incident. I had met one person in the train called Mastana. He was from Tirupati to somewhere he was traveling. And somehow he had, one day somewhere out 10:30 in the night, I was in some holiday or something, I was outside. And then I got a call from him saying that his son-in-law met with an accident near the, Tirupati, that, hills, somewhere he met with an accident. And they rushed him to that SWIMS hospital, and there's no doctor and there's need for an immediate operation. So then presence of mind is also very, very important. Mind you should have a... So I was racking my head, 10:30, 11, whom do I know? What should I do? I don't belong to that cadre. Then suddenly I remembered that one IAS officer whom I knew was the executive officer of Devasthana. So I called him. Luckily he picked the call. And I told him, this is what is the thing, this is the, and WhatsApp the name of the patient and everything. And he immediately talked to the doctor because he was there. Then the doctor went and he did the operation. And next day morning I got a call from this man, Mastana, saying his son-in-law's operation was successful and his life is saved. So, a very small action for me, but I'm on a holiday. I can say, oh God, on a holiday also, why should I attend? But then seeing the desperation in his voice, I thought that is a better thing to do. I think that gives greater pleasure than enjoying any holiday that you help save somebody's life and help somebody in distress. So this is the background you should have when you are preparing for the civil services. ಬರೀ ನನಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಬ್, ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಇದೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ, ಡೌರಿ ಎಷ್ಟು 5 ಕೋಟಿ 10 ಕೋಟಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಗಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ, ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಈಗ? ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೌರಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್? ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ. So I'll get a beautiful, rich wife. I will enjoy my life and don't care about what is happening around. Okay, when I was preparing, adella maatadide iga, okay, that's gone with that. Maatadada aitu, lectures kele aitu. Let me forget that and let me just enjoy my life for the rest of my time, taking care of my wife and kids. Yes, of course, you need to give time for wife and kids. There are many wives who complain also, my husband has no time for me, he's so busy working. That's also another angle to that. So you have to balance this and that and be a good officer, be a good human being, good family man. So you have several roles to play as a civil servant. And I wanted to tell you all this because you can hear any lectures, any kind of speeches, but being a good human being is a very important part of the civil servant, because this is lacking nowadays. Many people are very insensitive to what happens. There are so many people who go to office of the, as he said, police officer, Tahsildar. He was little kind. He said, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಸಹ ಹಾಗೇ ಇದೆ. ಯಾರು ಯಾರ ಜೊತೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರು ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರ ದೌರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. And again that fellow goes again tomorrow. And there are several times when people call me and I tell the officer, Mr. So-and-so is coming to meet you. They say, okay ma'am, tell him to come at 3 o'clock. They'll go at 3, it will be 3, 4, 5. Then this fellow will call up, Sahabru horgade hogbitru anta. Again I call him, that fellow was waiting outside. I had a meeting, I forgot. Okay, tell him to come tomorrow. Again they go tomorrow. Again they look at the petition. Aatappa nodtini ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. They have no time to, of course they are also under several pressures. Officers have the pressures of having several meetings, several other programs, other priorities to attend. So you need to be very sensitive, which is what I'm again and again stressing. I remember when I was Chief Secretary, I issued a circular that I'll meet the public between 3 to 5 every day. So every day, large number of people used to come. Large and real large people from all over Karnataka used to come. Because I thought Chief Secretary is the last point in the administration. Because they come to me because the other levels have not responded to their grievance. And my PA used to get really frustrated. So many people coming and all that. But this policemen, they used to enjoy, they used to like it. Oh, madam, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವರು ಹೋಗಿ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ. They used to, I don't know, the police constables in Vidhan Sabha, they're big fans of mine because they used to see how police officers behave. No, so they used to say. So one day what happened at 7 o'clock, my PA came and said, Madam, visitors ellaru ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಈಗ files ನೋಡಿ ತಾವು ಅಂತ. He brought one bundle of files and put it before me. I said, my God, so many files, now it will be 9 o'clock or something. I said, okay, we'll see. Then suddenly one flash came into my WhatsApp. Then I just looked at it and I switched on the corridor of Vidhan Sabha was very dark and a lot of people were standing. And that fellow has messaged, we are still waiting to meet you. So many people. Then I showed that to my PA. I said, you said, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇವರು ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನರು ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇವ್ರು ಜನರು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ತಾವು ಫೈಲ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. I said, don't bother about me, I can see files in the night. And if you want to go home, you also go home, because he also wanted to go home. I don't know from where these people have come and they are waiting there. So thanks to technology, people also give us the information. Then I had to meet those. So what I want to say is the kind of expectations people have. When you meet them, they also feel there is somebody who is there to listen to their problems. And what I did finally was, I told the KMF, Karnataka Milk Federation, MD, to send me 100 or 200 flavored milks and buttermilks. And I put it in the fridge. So I told my PA, whoever is waiting more than 1 hour, give them one flavored milk or one buttermilk. Because you don't know who is suffering from sugar, what a headache, from how many distance kilometers they have traveled, and how hungry they are. And people are waiting for hours. And you can't meet everybody, isn't it? Whoever comes first will be first. They are standing in the queue. So these kind of things, one had to do. I really enjoyed. And sometimes some people would come and they would look so flustered that I had to first tell my attender, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏನಾದರೂ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಡಿ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೊಡಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ we will talk to him because he's been waiting for 2-3 hours. So when you start working for the people, they have so much expectations. They feel you are the person who's going to give you the solution. And if you give the solution, there's so much joy in their face. And you also feel very satisfied at the end of the day that you could solve that person's problem and he went back with a very happy face. So that's all I wanted to share about being part of the IAS. And all of you should strive to be good officers, get good name, and you also should feel worthy of being part of this great service. Thank you. Any questions? You can.
ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನ ಈವರೆಗೆ ರತ್ನಪ್ರಭಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಕೇಳೋದಿದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು.
See, there are certain things which we need to, certain qualities some of you already have. Okay, suppose you are studied engineering or you're a medical doctor, you would have prepared for your entrance exams. So you would have really slogged a lot, isn't it, when you prepare for IITs and the medical entrance and all. But some people would have joined graduation, done a law or something like that. They wouldn't have really slogged so much. So each student has a quality within himself. Some people have the quality of, or the habit, I can say, studying very hard, you know, and being very systematic and all. Some people do not have that. They would have just, you know, been very casual. And it will be very interesting to know that people who are very casual, very playful, they are the ones who make it into the service. And people who are very studious and, you know, have -6 specs and all, you think he's very intelligent, that fellow wouldn't make it into the service. So you will be, when you later on realize, you'll say, that fellow, he was such a useless fellow in class, and he used to always bunk, or he used to always get average marks, and he got into the service. I don't know what has happened to the country, how such people have got into the service. So the interesting thing about the human mind thing is, a playful person, when he becomes serious, he can deliver. Okay. Equally, how much a serious person can deliver. So you have to plan your curriculum. Keep the syllabus before you. Keep the syllabus before you. And put a timetable. That it depends. Some people get up very early in the morning. Some people sleep late in the night. So what is comfortable for you? Put a timetable. From this 6 a.m. to say 8 a.m. I'm going to study this. 8 to 9 I'm going to take a break. I'll have breakfast and something. Okay, then again I read the newspaper. I listen to the news at this time. Then I study. So you have a timetable and you fix your, your schedule, and keep studying and keep revising. Revision is very important. And the most important thing I feel in the present day is doing online tests. You have to continuously do these online tests. There will be so many free online tests available. Some will be the total examination of the UPSC. Some will be based on the subjects. But doing online tests within the time limit will tell you how you're doing the examination. And then you go on improving doing these online tests. So you have to build up on your capacities. If you don't have the capacities, you build on that. Like some people don't have concentration. The mind is wavering. You study for 5 minutes, then you think something. You know, oh, I need to call that friend. Today I feel like eating an ice cream, or I want to go for a movie, or some friend has to, something. You may think of so many things. The mind wavers. You can't study beyond 5 minutes or something like that. Some people can continuously study. So you identify your weak points, where you can't concentrate. Then you try to consciously bring your mind to that. And always write notes. Writing improves your concentration. Because when you keep reading, you feel you understand everything, you remember everything. And then when you think about it after one day, you won't remember. So writing is very important. And when you read newspapers, or when you hear something on the TV, you keep on that long notebook and keep writing. Especially in newspapers, the highlights, the editorials, you get to know some factual information. Keep writing and keep reading. So that is how generally, if the preliminary is in, say, May or June, the question papers will start from August of the previous year, generally. Okay, so you get acquainted with August, September, October, November, December, till March, April. Maybe the paper would be set by April. There may not be some questions on May. Second thing is, you also answer past questions. Try to answer 10 years past questions. Okay. So one is doing online tests, other thing is doing past questions. So if you do the past questions, definitely 5 to 10 or 15 from past questions will come in a different form. Or it may come in the same form. So that also will help you to do well. One is practice. Second thing is writing. Third thing is concentration. And the fourth thing is revision. Revising the whole thing again and again. Okay? Last question, any question?
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಯಾರಾದರೂ 3 ಜನ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾನು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಕ ಸೀಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹಂತ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಒತ್ತಡಿ ಹಾಕಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದು ಏನಂದರೆ ಈಗ ಇರೋ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ಆರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅವರು ತಪ್ಪು ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಅದು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ನೀವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅವ್ರೇನು ಬೇಜಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಈಗ RTI ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸೋಷಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಇದೆ, TV ಚಾನಲ್ಸ್ ಇವೆ, ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾರಾದರೂ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ತಕ್ಷಣ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ TVಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಕಿಂಗ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆನಿಂದ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಯಾರೋ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಹತ್ತಿರ 10 ಲಕ್ಷ ವಿಧಾನಸೌಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಂತ, ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆನಿಂದ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಅದೇ ನ್ಯೂಸ್, ಬ್ರೇಕಿಂಗ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್. ಸೊ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ನೋ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ ವಿಲ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಒತ್ತಡಿ ಅಂತ ಏನಂದರೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒತ್ತಡಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಸುಮಾರು 1.5 ಗಂಟೆ ಆಯಿತು, ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ 1.5 ಗಂಟೆನೇ ಆಗಿದೆ. ತುಂಬ ಸುದೀರ್ಘವಾದಂತಹ ಮತ್ತು ಫಲಪ್ರದವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಾದ ಏರ್ಪಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದಂಥ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ, ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಮತ್ತು UPSC ಮಾಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ನೂ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬರೋರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಮ್ಮೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಕರೆಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾರು ಇವತ್ತು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ವೋ ಅಂಥ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಾದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮನ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ ವರ್ಗದವರಿಗೆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದಂಥ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.